All right, so let me talk about the cards here. You have some amazing cards, okay? So, first of all, I'm looking at the cards like this. That's what it feels like to me. So, let me just read them the way that they kind of resonate with me. We have here the World and the Traveler, okay? Brand new starts here. The World is pretty much opportunities galore. It's like all the avenues that might have been blocked in the past, they are finally making themselves available to you. Okay. That promotion that was, somebody, it's like there might have been a job and you were eyeing that job, but there's always somebody occupying that job. Potentially they're retiring and now that job is open. Okay. So kind of like that, doors opening, opportunities opening, roads, like just like unrolling kind of like ahead of you. So if you feel like you've been in a rut for quite some time when it comes to your life, your work, relationships, even professional life, I'm seeing a lot. I feel like a lot of doors are opening, okay? And I feel like you don't even need to lift a finger. The doors are opening because the time is right. And the time is right because you are operating from the space where you have been trying to manifest something brand new. Okay? We have here the Traveler. This is the Fool. You have been trying to manifest something brand new. You have already mastered whatever it was that you were doing. You have already mastered it. And now, Virgos, you're finally brave enough to take this leap of faith over this cliff and try to get onto the other side. And I feel like because you are doing your due diligence and because you are also stepping out of your comfort zone, the universe is reciprocating. Okay. You've been wanting new energies for a very, very long time. And I feel like they're saying, this is the year for you. This is where things are really going to start to take off. Okay. In tandem, we have as well the Nine of Crystals. So this is the Nine of Pentacles. And we have here the 10 of Wands. And this is what I meant about, working smart rather than working hard. You're very good at working hard. You're very, very good at that. No one will, deny that. Okay. But in the spirit of saving time, in the spirit of kind of like upping your game a little bit. Okay. Upping your game a little bit. We need to be a little bit smart about how we're working. Okay. So for example, let me just say this. I feel like some of you who might be watching this, okay? You might be a paralegal right now, and you might be, trying to pass the bar exam, for example. Okay. And so what I'm feeling is, you're like pouring over volumes of books on case laws, on legal precedents and things like that. And it's very dry and very uninspiring. And you're, trying to memorize and trying to cram. When in fact, they're saying, look at the work that you're doing. Ask the people in your work environment. Ask the people, look at the real life cases. Those are a lot more nuanced and they're a lot more juicy. They're a lot more exciting. And if you look at those cases, the information is going to come alive. And so you don't have to cram. You don't have to, try to memorize in such a dry way. So it's about working smart rather than working hard. So the spider here, okay, and the spider, they weave their web, okay, and a lot of the times it gets destroyed, right? Humans like come in and shake them away, or insects or whatever animal that runs through the forest. They knock it down, and then the spider diligently, goes back out, possibly at night, weaves a new web, and, just waits for the prey to kind of like land on that web. Okay, so this is like working a lot, doing a lot of things in a repetitive way. But it also indicates to me a lot of financial abundance, okay? A lot of financial security, a lot of financial abundance, a lot of self-sufficiency. So spiders are very solitary creatures. And I feel like, everyone's got their own web and everyone minds their own business and everyone pretty much lives for themselves. And so what I'm feeling is, you've worked really hard to build up this foundation for yourself where you're self-sufficient. You don't want to ask for help. You feel like asking for help might be seen a little bit as a weakness, or even like asking for help is like, oh, I couldn't finish it. And it's a reflection of my work ethics or my skill set when I can't do something and I have to ask other people for help. And I feel as if you feel like in this environment, you feel almost like you're working twice as hard and other people are just coasting. And you might feel like there might be some imbalance associated with that. Okay. This is the 10 of Wands here. And the way that it's depicted in this card, we have here this horse. And, you know, horses are draft animals. They can carry a lot of weight and they can, you know, transport people, objects, carry, like pull a wagon. And so I feel like this is like the workhorse, literally the workhorse. This is somebody that other people depend on and other people often take for granted. Other people often dump responsibilities on. And this is an animal that doesn't complain either. Okay. So I feel as if there are definitely, and you know, I've been seeing this for a lot of Virgos. There are a lot of, definitely a lot of things here where you kind of need to draw the line. You kind of need to be a little bit crafty about how you can tell people to back off and, you know, give you your time and respect your space. And at the same time, to kind of like take care of themselves, like learn to be self-sufficient. You know, it took you a lifetime to learn to be self-sufficient. Why can't they do that themselves? So I feel like, you know, you might feel like it's not fair. You might feel like it's your responsibility now, or it's like falls on you, or it's incumbent upon you to, you know, pick up the burden for other people. And I feel like in a way that's not very fair. And I feel that in the past you might have been very much about, you know, wanting to serve others, being in the spirit of service. But I do sense for the month of February, you have drawn some boundaries. You have, you know, drawn your line in the sand, demarcate where you would chip in and where you will not, because I feel like your energy is a lot more free. This is like saying no to people and not feeling guilty, Virgo. Telling people, you know what, I only have 5 minutes and I need to, you know, use the restroom. I can't help you. I'm sorry, you know, things like that. And doing it in a way where you don't have to feel bad about it. You're not guilt-ridden over not being able to help somebody. You're not guilt-ridden over like not bending over backwards for another person when in fact they are clearly capable. And so I do sense there's a lot of like shedding away the mental and emotional baggage. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that you've been working for other people, serving other people, helping other people, a lot of people. And I do sense like you do it because, you know, you care about the people, right? But at the same time, you start to understand how that drains your energy, how that depletes you, how that disallows you from doing things that you want, how that really cuts into your time, how that really, you know, kind of like sidetrack your plans, and how that really affects your emotional well-being. And so we're coming from this space where we have like, you know, the deep dive in emotion, where we might feel guilty if we have to say no to people, where we might feel like, oh, well, I have an extra 5 minutes, you know, I can help that coworker, I can help that boss, I can help that person. And things like that. And I feel like you do take a lot upon yourself. And this is the month where we need to kind of like do us, focus on what we need, and not let other people's problems emotionally burden you. Okay. Learning to say no and feeling like you don't need to be apologetic for it. So this is really nice, crisp, refreshing energy. You're leaping towards the future of your life. Okay. So what is coming through, I feel for many of you, there's a lot of movement and travel here. Okay. And this is like seeing the world. traveling to another country, learning about another country, meeting people from different cultural, linguistic backgrounds, meeting people who are very, I also feel like, people who are like major players in their field, like being amongst the people who are the movers and the shakers in the world. So if you're, for example, in law, I see a lot of lawyers, paralegals, and people in the law profession. If you're in law, you might meet like a very famous judge. You might meet an attorney or somebody, a prosecutor who's handled like a very famous case. So I feel like there's a lot of rubbing elbows with, people who are very well respected, well received in their field, in their profession. And I also feel like in some way, they could be a launching pad for your career or your professional life. Okay. Not in a way where we're like using them or ride their coattails. I feel like what they're telling you is like golden material, great advice, or even like they're opening your mind up in a way that will really streamline the work that you do, that will really make you reassess the work or the way in which you've worked in the past. And I feel like they're going to shed some light into your life about working smart rather than working hard. Okay. So you have some great new awakening here, as well as revelations, as well as, a lot of help and guidance, physical help and guidance coming through from other people. And this is great. Okay, so I feel like many of you are traveling. So I'm seeing here clearing up some time in order to travel. I'm seeing here the Traveler and the Two of Cups. This is the Two of Cups. It's the dove. It's really sweet. I feel like for some of you, this is like traveling for your honeymoon. Traveling as a couple, traveling for Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day in the US. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of, it's a very nice romantic vibe, especially for coupled people. I feel like someone is really going to make this a very memorable month for you when it comes to love and relationships. And some of you could be getting married, getting engaged, getting, like taking your honeymoon, traveling to see the world, taking a cruise even. I'm feeling, and it's going to be really, I'm hearing breathtaking sights. Okay. So if like it's a cruise, it's going to be very refreshing, very, the scenery is going to be quite beautiful. Okay. So I'm seeing that, and I'm really happy to see this for you. So there's a major transformation here. We have the cicada and the Two of Shells. So this is about transformation in a love relationship. Okay. Transformation in a love relationship. And what I'm sensing is for many of you, there could be like upping the ante, taking the relationship to the next level, meeting somebody that you can really get along with, or like having that sense of coming together between you and another person. So I feel as if you have been single, there's a little bit like Nine of Crystals, the Nine of Pentacles is the single lady card, right? You could be male or female watching this, okay? It wouldn't matter. It's like, if you have been single, I feel like there's a transformation when it comes to your relationship, okay? Even like taking the relationship to the next level. I'm hearing, and this is like posting on social media, changing relationship status, or, posting pictures together for the very first time. So you might have been in a relationship, but never advertised it. And now you're coming public with the relationship because I feel that you're serious about this person. You know where you stand with them. They likewise are very serious with you. And so you feel that it's safe and it's stable enough to bring it out into the open, to show off this person, to be with this person, and to, have the two of you recognized as a couple. I feel like for many of you, it's a big step for you guys, because it takes an earth sign a very, very long time to really fall in love and to trust in the stability of a relationship. And they're also, you guys, I feel like, are also very, very private overall when it comes to, your romantic life, unless you have like very strong Leo placements in your chart. I feel like with Virgos, everything is very subdued. The relationship is very private, and you like to keep it very private. And as a result of this, I feel like this is like serious escalation in a love relationship in some capacity, because now you're kind of like seen in public with this person, making things public, okay, making a public announcement. And there will be a lot of people looking on. And I feel as well, there's something here that indicates to me two people who are a very, very good, solid match for each other. The Two of Cups is about, you know, friendship and harmony. It's two people who might be very similar. Okay, like same cultural background. It doesn't always have to be, but like same upbringing, same cultural background. Even if you are like racially different, I feel like there's something about your family that's very similar to their family. So for example, if you come from like a single parent household, they might also come from a single parent household. If, you know, you've gone to like private school your whole life, they might have also gone to private school. If you went to law school, they might have gone to law school. So there's something very similar about the two of you, either culturally or maybe like even your upbringing or just, you know, your ideologies. This is like two people who really get along, who agree on a lot of things. And as a result of it, the relationship flows very smoothly. And there's not a lot of conflict and confrontation and, you know, childish games and things like that. It's a very enlightened relationship where two people really care about each other and they're willing to put each other first, okay? So this is really positive energy. So you've been trying to manifest, I feel, financial stability and a happy home life for quite some time. What we have here is the Ten of Pentacles, okay? And I want to talk about this card a little bit because when I saw this, I was thinking immediately, you know, like there was a drought, okay? So the Ten of Pentacles is about property, like a physical dwelling, a house. It's about family. It's about financial stability, the foundation for everything that life builds upon. So I feel like for many of you, you've been shying away from relationships. Not all of you, but I feel like for the majority of you, there is a shying away from a relationship. And I feel a lot of it has to do with whether or not you believe that relationships can work, whether or not you believe that marriage, for example, is long lasting, whether or not you believe that somebody could be, you know, that we could be committed to and in love with somebody for life. Okay. So the whole concept of like till life do us or till death do us part, the whole concept about living and sharing your space with another person and getting along with the other person. And even though you might nitpick at whatever they do, you still at the end of the day really, really love them and really care about them as a person and will do right by them. And so the whole concept about, you know, happily ever after, about moving in together, buying property, and having a marriage that will withstand the test of time. All of it has been very daunting and very, very scary. And let me just say this. I feel for many of you, you might have come from like broken homes. Okay. There might have been infidelity with mom and dad. There might have been like growing up in a single parent household where things have been hard. Okay. And so things might have been very financially hard. And your parents, you know, might have been not emotionally available because they were working all the time. And I feel like everything that you have done, Virgos, you've had to do it on your own. And what I mean by this is like, you might look at, you know, a colleague of yours and they come from like, you know, a very stable home environment, a very stable like upbringing. Dad's a lawyer, mom's a doctor. And so they have, you know, really intelligent parents who are college educated, who have like years and years of schooling. And their parents not only served as like their mentor, but their parents had the financial stability to, you know, put them through school without student loans, for example. Okay. And I feel as if in your life, Virgos, everything that you have right now, you have had to work really hard for. Okay. Mom and dad didn't give you that car when you graduated from college, right? Mom and dad didn't pay for the college tuition. You've had to get out into the world, find a job, pay your student loans. And then mom and dad, if they were, like blue collar laborers, for example, they couldn't give you the guidance, the expertise when it comes to college admissions, taking the SATs, which is like a college exam. You take that when you're in secondary school. For those who are not familiar, you take that exam for secondary school so that you can score high enough, and then the colleges will accept you. So it's like an entrance exam just to see at a baseline level where you are and whether or not you're desirable for a college. So I feel like you've had to meander and figure out these things for yourself. Nobody helped you. Things just, were not handed to you on a silver platter. You've had to do the preliminary research. You've had to figure everything out on your own. And I feel as if for many of you, you're looking at your life, okay? Everything that you've had to do based on your upbringing, based on everything that, that has happened to you. And then you're looking at your colleague's life, that same colleague who came from a really, really stable home environment. And now you're realizing, wait a minute, we're on the same level. Or even, I'm surpassing that person. Because, hardship builds character.